it's Evie. It's the week of the 12th, 13th. I'm very bad at dates. It's the week of Valentine's Day. Whatever. This week, I wanted to talk about a controversial topic, I guess, which would be religion and spirituality, at least as far as how it pertains to me personally. Um, I say controversial because religion's always a really hot topic, and a lot of people get pissed off. I guess just I'm gonna kind of give a little brief history on my dealings with religion, kind of where I was, and then where I'm at now with it. Okay, so I grew up fairly Christian. I went to church, every Sunday, every Christmas and whatnot. Grew up. I was raised as a Christian, um, and as a kid, I don't really know if kids believe in God, so to speak. I think it's more just, their parents tell them to, and they, go along with it, and then as they get older, they start to understand the relationship with them and God. So me when I was a kid, I didn't really get it, I guess. I just went along with everyone else and what my parents told me, and that's kind of how I was. And I went to church pretty regularly until about, I'd say 8th grade, maybe freshman year of high school. I don't know, we just stopped going. As a family, we all still believed. It was just, we just didn't really go to church as much. And around that time, I went through my edgy phase, and I was like, oh, I'm an atheist now. Because I wanted to be cool, and all my friends were cool, and that was a cool thing to do. I was a little shit in middle school. So anyways, I kind of went through a very brief atheist phase. But it was a little bit more than that, because shortly after, I would say sophomore year-ish of high school, I was kind of at the point where it was like, I believed in something, I just didn't quite know what it was. And I think the reason I was so against Christianity at that point was, I knew a lot of people who were Christians, a lot of them great people. Some of them, there's always a few bad ones in every group, in every, religious group, social group, there's always someone who's going to ruin it for everyone else. And I met a lot of really just homophobic people, a lot of racist people that claimed to be Christian, and it really turned me off from it. So at that point, sophomore year of high school, I believed in something, I just didn't really know what. But I definitely at that point didn't really consider myself a Christian at all. And I explored other religions, did a lot of research, a lot of them intrigued me, but none of them really stuck. And, at that point I was still questioning everything. I was very, science-based, which I still am, as far as, the Big Bang Theory, the theory of evolution, I was I very strictly adhered to them, and some Christians don't, and, those things kind of conflicted, so I didn't really know where to put myself when it came to religion. So then let's go to about, I'd say, a couple years into college, I think. I was still in that whole kind of agnostic phase, I guess you could say. And I'm not going to go into details, but a personal situation arose between me and my ex, and, we sort of, because of that event, we kind of got back into religion, got back into church. They had met a lot of good people, and we started going back to church again. And I was kind of, again, reluctant. It had been a long time since I'd gone to church, but I wanted to support them, so I went. And through that, I met a lot of really good friends. A lot of them I still talk to today. Through the InterVarsity Christian Fellowship group on my college campus, and I don't know, I got really kind of back into it. I think I was still uneasy, with Christianity as a whole, just because of the bad experiences I had with other people, but I was willing to give it a shot. So I met a lot of good people. I went to a Christian conference called Urbana in 2015, I think I went. It was a really fun time, and I think I was slowly kind of getting onto the path of believing in something, just not really sure what. Again, I was still questioning myself at the time, but I was definitely open to a lot of things. I was open to listening to people and everyone's stories on how they found God and whatnot. And unfortunately, I kind of got back into that point where I did meet some really bad people who claimed to be Christian, and again, it kind of pushed me away from it. Um, so yeah, just a lot of ups and downs as far as me and religion, which leads me to today. I think I'm still at that point where I believe in something, I just don't know what. And, whether it's a scientific explanation, whether it's a supernatural explanation, I don't know. It might be magic. I don't know. But I definitely think there's something else working behind the scenes. Is it a man in the sky, controlling everything? Maybe. Is it aliens? Maybe. I don't know. I literally don't know or have any sort of strict, religion that I adhere to. I just kind of roll with it, Um, and I think when people hear that, they think, "Oh, you don't believe in God, you're gonna go to hell." So, A, that's a shitty thing to say to someone. B, there's a lot of religions out there that all believe different things. Everyone has their own version of the afterlife, of heaven, of hell, of God. So, who's to say who is right? I think ultimately no one's really going to know that question. No one's really ever going to know the answer to that question. So I think it's unfair for people to say you're going to hell because you don't believe the way they do. It's a little ridiculous. But as far as where I'm at now, I don't know. Like, I've been exploring a lot of kind of new age stuff, a lot of astrology things, which really doesn't fit into religion, but it's interesting. I mentioned in a past video, I was kind of researching into witchcraft, and I kind of wanted to expand on that because people hear witchcraft and they think, "Oh my God, they're worshiping Satan," and that's not it at all. I don't consider myself pagan or Wiccan or anything like that, because you can practice witchcraft and not adhere to those religions. And to be clear, I don't practice witchcraft right now. It was just something I was looking into. But something I had come up to and had kind of looked into a bit was something called chaos magic, or people who call themselves chaos magicians. Which it's a little ridiculous, but the core idea of it is that you kind of make your own luck, make your own fortune. You shape reality how you want it to be fed. It's a very like hands-on, like a lot of people who are kind of like me, where they don't really adhere to religion or anything, but they know there's something out there. It's kind of taking that idea and it's like, all right, we don't know what's going on, but we're going to try to make it work for us. It's really weird. It's interesting, and I really still don't quite understand all of it. I'm kind of looking into it. But that's kind of where I'm at. I've been looking into a lot of different things. Because spirituality it's weird. It's not for everyone. It's something I want to explore, and I'm not saying no to like any sort of religion or belief system. Mostly because if I do say no to a certain belief system, people might get pissed off and try to kill me. So, I'm open to a lot of stuff. I just don't think I've, picked a religion or a belief system or anything like that. I don't even know if I ever will. I don't know. That's kind of like my little story on how I got to where I am as far as religion. There really isn't a satisfying, nice, happy ending to that story because the story's still happening. I don't really know what I'm doing as far as spirituality and stuff, but I'm looking at things. If that makes any sense. Yeah. Okay, it's Thursday. I'm going to get my tattoo. I have 2 appointments planned out. The first one, which is today, is just to get my unicorn filled in. And the second one next week is to actually get my Life is Strange tattoo. The unicorn tattoo, I'm a little iffy on because I was going to get it filled in with the colors of the transgender flag, pink, white, and blue. But I'm not sure how white's going to show up. I've heard from some people that white's kind of difficult to maintain on a tattoo. So I think what I'll do is, if it's going to be that much of a hassle, I think I'm just going to go rainbow on the unicorn instead. Still not 100%. I guess you guys will find out once I get it done. Alright, we're getting tattoos. I'm getting tattoos. She's not getting a tattoo.
We're getting tattoos.
Color? You'd probably be looking
Alright, I just got back from the tattoo parlor. Didn't really film much there because I was getting my arm tattooed and I could really only film one-handed. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but that's what it's looking like right now. The colors he said will fade in a little while. It's going to be pink, white, and blue, like the colors of the transgender flag. He added some gray in there to kind of make the white stay a little bit, because the white's kind of hard to get on skin. But it's turned out pretty good. I like it so far. So that's part one of my tattoo adventure. Next week I'm getting the Life is Strange tattoo, and I did the pricing, and I think I have money left over from that gift certificate, so I might get a couple extra small ones. So it'll be kind of a surprise, just kind of like, oh, here's some bonus tattoos. It's fun.